Good day, my loves. Good day. Sending you love, peace of mind, and peace in your heart. This is Spiritually Savage. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and going on this journey with me. So I'm doing one of my most favorite pastimes, and that's cooking because I get to eat afterwards. Let me show you a little bit. I'll go into detail a little bit more, and then the table looks a hot mess in the back. But anywho, as I was sitting here, let me put it right here. This light is not all that great. Anyway, let me see. Can you do it? Can I do it that way? Oh yeah. That's. Oh, hold on. Let's do it together. Excuse the ghetto fabulous setup, but you already know the situation if you've watched any of my other videos, right? So I make do with what I have, right? And so as I'm sitting here cutting up my garlic, because I'm about to make some homemade pasta sauce, I was sitting here thinking, how far I've come, right? Now, for those who have watched any of my other videos, you know I don't even consider it the Lion's Den anymore. The Lion's Den was when I was unaware and I was going crazy. Well, I wasn't going crazy. I was awakening, so it felt like I was going crazy. And I started on my journey. And so right now, I'm going through my journals, and I have a couple of videos for you guys soon enough. But I was going through my journals just now. I'm doing multiple things at a time. And I have them all spread out on my bed. And I have them in chronological order, right? And a lot of them have been duplicated, meaning if there was any space left, I've been writing in them for the past 3 or so months because I was unable to get a new journal, right? So I'm going through it, and I'm going through old notebooks that I had. So when I first started this journey, y'all, I was shook. I really was shook. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Because it was the veil was being lifted, but it wasn't just being lifted on the people that were around me, but it was being lifted off myself, right? And so, of course, if you're on this journey and you're on YouTube, you're finding a lot of videos related to whatever circumstance you are currently going through right now, and especially if you're awakening, right? A lot of people on the planet are awakening, and that just basically means that you're awakening to the truth and the reality of not just who you are, but what goes on in the world, right? And so, as I'm sitting here thinking how far I've come, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, I was thinking of when I first began, and that's what took me to the journey on down my journals. From when I first began, before the light bulb clicked, and it was oh my God. Before that moment, before that aha moment. Because I wanted to know what state of mind I was in. What was I thinking? What I was going through, what was I experiencing? Because remember, back then I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was crazy. I knew it didn't make sense, and I knew I didn't deserve it. So I wrote about it. I journaled. I've been journaling since I was 13. And thank God, because people have you think you're crazy when you're not crazy. So I'll have a couple of inserts or excerpts later on today. But as I was sitting here thinking, I was thinking at the beginning of my journey when I was watching the videos on spirituality and awakening and the third eye and calcification and all that other stuff. I'll go into more detail about that, but this is supposed to be just a quick video. I was thinking about the terminology that was used in the beginning, right? And the terminology that that society uses. And it doesn't matter what religion you are in, right? It's always a heaven or a hell, or it's God and the devil or Satan. It's always that type of dynamic. But what it really boils down to, and what I have come to understand, overstand, and understand, is that it really has nothing to do with, I'm not going to say it doesn't have anything to do with, because God is ever present and ever omnipresent. So we exist because of God, right? But when you're thinking about heaven and hell and God and demon, we all possess both of those energies. We all possess the power to be God. We also possess the power to be the devil. The only difference that separates the two is whether you are healing your trauma. That is it. So when people say you're the devil, it's basically calling you an unhealed spirit. That's what the devil is. The devil is an unhealed spirit. The devil could not open up its heart. The devil could not see compassion for other people. The devil could not see, camaraderie, a village type environment, community. Couldn't see that. The devil was all about himself. The devil was all about what he can get and not worrying about everybody else's or the consequence of his actions around and how they would affect the people that are around him, right? So that was the understanding, overstanding that I came to, that, society and the patriarchal religions, and I've gone into detail about that before, want you to be fearful of what you possess. You are God. You are a God. And you are also a demon. You are. We all have the tendency to do some things that are not so appropriate, that are not cool, that actually hurt someone else's feelings, or we can be vindictive, or whatever the case may be. That is living in the devil energy. Understand that. It's not there are forces, there are energies, and there are people that are sending you black magic. Anytime a person talks bad about you, speaks bad about your name, lie on you, fabricate stuff, spreading your business around, smiling in your face, but don't really care for you, that energy is what they consider to be called black magic, because it is negative energy. Why? Because the intent behind it is not one of love. It is not one of compassion. It's not one of even empathy. It is one of jealousy, envy, hatred, depending on who you are. Okay, so as you go on this journey, I want you to get that in your head, especially if you're coming from a religious background like I did, Christianity. They beat it in your head about going to heaven and going to hell, going to heaven and going to hell. You got to do this, you got to do that. Heal your trauma. That is the best way to get to heaven. Why? Because heaven is a peace of mind. You can literally have heaven here on earth. Once you know your purpose, once you know who you are in the spirit world and what weight you hold, and once you know your ancestors, literally you will have peace of mind, because you'll begin to work with the divine flow and not against it. When we want to rush in to do something, when we feel that energy, and instead of sitting still and listening and waiting, because that's basically what it is, having patience, we get antsy, we get anxious, and we feel like we got to do it now. We got to do it now. No, you have two polar opposite energies. One is telling you, which is your intuition, to sit still, sit down, listen to God and your ancestors speak to you. But that other one, which is man-made, which is part of the matrix, because they get rich off of our energy if we're constantly working and moving and not sitting down and listening to God. Because some of the things that we're doing is not even in our divine plan. It's not even supposed to be happening. So when things happen in your life to deter you, don't look at it as a curse. Don't look at it as bad luck. Look at it as, okay, God, what do you need me to do? Okay, God, where do I need to go? Okay, my ancestors, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to prevent from happening to me? Okay, look at it that way. Namaste, Ashe, Mazel Tov. Love you guys.